in to wood turning for beginners. Anybody in the wood turning for beginners group, because this is what this is about, wood turning for beginners, an Ogee bowl. So there's going to be a demo, quick demo, turning an Ogee bowl. That mic's bouncing a little bit. Let's just pop that back a bit. There. See if that's clearer. We'll get there. Hello Adrian, hope you're keeping well. Terry. Right, I'm sort of looking at the screen, trying to look at the camera, look at the screen, look over here, look down there and all that. I've just got to get the iPad fired up for Mrs. Oliver. Let's see if I can find the video. I can't find my own videos. Know where that's gone. Or this. The iPad's not connecting to the internet. Now there's the thing. Let's just bring it over to here, connect it to the barn. That's that one. Now we'll go back to here. I'll be with you in a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. And then we go home. Videos. Where the videos gone? Where have all my videos gone? Videos. Oh, don't want that. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. See, I'm the techiest of people. There we go. Get there. Got that. Right. There you go. And you can just type in the box down the bottom. Right, Karen's got the chat. So, any questions from the wood turning from beginners people? Just type it in the chat. Karen will shout them out. And I'll try and answer them. Or I might not answer them, but we'll see. So, what is an Ogee? So if we come back over here, sorry, I'm having to dive off of camera and get out to output a media player, and let's fade that in. Play. Well, we might find out what an Ogee is in a minute. Ogee bowl. There's an Ogee bowl in the background. An Ogee bowl is like a double curve. Let me stand out the way. That's not one of mine. That's just a picture I've nicked off the internet. And it's really like an S, a shallow S. And that's what we're trying to achieve, a shallow S. So that's an Ogee. So we're going to turn an Ogee bowl. Here I've got a piece of ash, typical me, got a nice crack in it, but it'll be fine. So, and all I've done is pre-drilled a hole in here, which we're going to fit to the chuck. So let's see if I can remember what camera's what. That's our overhead camera. So, here I've got a screw chuck. Wrong camera, I was pointing that out there. And that's just going to go into the jaws of me chuck here. Obviously you can mount your bowl blank with a face plate or whatever you like really. But I prefer the little screw chucks. And we're going to wind this on here. Like so. Now, guess what I've not done yet? Not turned the lathe on. Well, who knows? We had a bit of rain this afternoon. Let's hope we don't get a storm, because if we get a storm we'll probably get a power cut. So it won't be the broadband that scuppers us, it'll be the power. But we'll see. Lucky we haven't got to use water to do a demonstration, because I don't think we're allowed to use water anymore either. So I tighten that up on there. That's my bowl blank. For a bit of added safety, we're going to turn it to round first. I'm going to bring up the tailstock, and this does two things. A, it marks our centre, true centre. and B, it's added security when we're spinning. So we just bring that in, tighten that down, and anytime we can bring up the old tail stop, we do. Important because it's for beginners. You should always wear a face shield at a lathe. If we come back to the old intro camera, face shield, not a mask, a face shield. You always wear a face shield at the lathe. So let me come back over there to this overhead camera. All we're going to do is bring this to round to start with, if I can remember how to turn the lathe on. I think that's that one. Ooh, there's a light, so there must be power. Whoopie-doo. Okay, so if you've got variable speed, turn your speed down low first, turn your lathe on, and slowly advance the speed. Now for the demo, I'll be wearing safety glasses, because talking through the face shield doesn't really work for a demo. And you can use a standard grind bowl gouge, which will give you a standard grind bowl gouge, just ground at 45 degrees, and all we're going to do is literally bring the handle back towards our hip. Let's see if that one, no, that one maybe, no, let's try that one. Back towards our hip, lift the handle up and just do a cut to bring her into round. Now you haven't got a very good shot of any of them. Let's try that one, overhead. Now I'm just going to use my preferred longer grind.
Have you centred your headstock?
I don't know. Might not have done. Find out in a minute. So, handles back to my body. Stop talking there. A face shield stops the shavings going in your mouth while you're talking, so maybe I'll have a little mic strapped to me lapel. Because as I was going to say something just now, the shavings decided to fly up and I've got one. Didn't taste all that. This is a bit of ash. I'm just going to come back the other way. I prefer the taste of sycamore. Right, so let's just see. I think we're probably round there, not far off. Okay. So then we start creating our outside shape. And I'm going to make it a fairly short demo because I don't want anybody getting bored. So I'm just going to bring the tool rest round and start bringing.
How fast are you turning?
Speed at the moment, I'm just travelling around about 700. Now there's a thing with turning a lathe. Hello, you got a ghosty image on there, haven't you, on the screen?
Yeah, somebody said there's too much going on the screen.
Hold on, let's come over to that one. Don't know why that's doing that. Maybe dust on the camera. Hold on. Let's, thought I blew them all off.
It looks like you've got at once.
Right, let's blow them off. Let's just test them again. That's the overhead, that's clear. That's the end on, that's clear. That's on the end over the top, that seems alright. That's over the top and over my shoulder. And that's on the end and over the side there. The auto focus is kicking in. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Okay, so we'll come back to over the top. So at the moment I'm spinning at about 700 RPM. Now you can do one of two things here. We're on a screw chuck, which is a secure fitting. We're trapped between centres, but you've got to turn at a speed that's comfortable for you. So we can turn this up, and what will happen as we advance the speed, you see we get a bit of lathe vibration, and then I can wick it up beyond that, and it's a bit like a car wheel. It should go through it. If it doesn't go through it and it's still vibrating, then you have to bring it down to a speed where your lathe's not dancing across the floor. You'll hear people say you got to turn fast to get a good finish. That's absolutely rubbish. I'll just demonstrate this. I've demonstrated it before, but let me demonstrate it again. So, what it does, you've got to learn to travel the tool at the speed the wood is coming over the cutting edge. So it's easier to demonstrate it. Oh, I've got shavings in me cup of tea as well. Unbelievable. So, if I try and shade this wood in, I've got to move at this sort of speed. And I shade me wood in. So I shade it. That's like cutting the wood. If I move faster than the wood's coming over the edge, I then draw a spiral. That's not coming up too clear one. Let's see if I can get a clear bit. I draw a spiral. Trust me, there's a spiral there. There's lines and gaps, and the gaps are bigger than the lines and all this sort of stuff. So when we travel our tool across the work, we put enough pressure on it so it will advance as the wood is removed in front of the cutting edge. So with the right sort of pressure, it will travel at the speed that it wants to go. So if I do this quickly, I'm spinning at 1000 RPM. I just get a continual line of shading. If I move too fast, then I get all this sort of stuff, and I don't cut the wood, and then I'll start getting little gouge lines in the timber. So just learn to control your tool. There's no real pressure on that. And at 1000 RPM, that's the speed I'm going. The reason I think people say that it's better faster is because naturally we move faster because we use too much pressure on the gouge. So if I turn the speed of the lathe up, so we're at 2000 RPM now. I can just move the tool that much quicker, and I can get, I'll see why people say you can get a better finish, because I'm travelling more at my natural speed. I'm not skipping the surface, but the true art of it is learn to move the tool at the speed the wood is coming over the cutting edge. So we just...
Malcolm's asking if there's any beginners you'll explain why you're doing it.
Explain what?
While you're doing this demonstration. I don't think they heard earlier.
Ah, the sound problem. Right. We had no sound. Malcolm. this is, are there any beginners this evening? Oh, you're asking, are there any beginners this evening? There could quite possibly be some beginners this evening, because this demo was put out through the Woodturning for Beginners group. This is going to be their August monthly challenge. They're going to turn an Ogee bowl. So, that's why I'm explaining it in maybe a little bit more detail and demonstrating a few things, because if they are here, I just want them to pick up a few tips, understand, so they can go away and turn their Ogee bowl and be as happy as Larry with it. Slurper tea time. Slurper tea and shavings even. Right, so now we're going to start developing the shape. So what I'm going to do first is just come in there, knock that corner off. And all I'm doing to get this curve here is, as I come round, I'm just twisting my right hip into the leg slightly, raising my handle, and that noise you can hear is because I'm pushing the tool a bit harder than I need to. I've just bring the tool rest round, a little bit more speed into it. And that's just busting off the bottom bit. Now, two reasons that's happening. A, I didn't bother flattening off the base. B, we're dealing with a big crack through here. I'm going to put some glue in that in a bit. It's sort of ½ inch into the wood, but most of it's going to turn away, so I'm not really worried about it. It's just a demo piece. But if I find it getting a little bit airy, then it will go. Now, when you're doing an Ogee, we've got a curve that way and a curve back this way, but for the moment I'm just removing a chunk of the wood. I can rub the back of the bevel, lean the handle forward towards the lathe, there you see there was no real vibration and no snap at the end because I wasn't forcing the tool. So back of the bevel, lean the handle towards the lathe. The handle follows the cutting edge all the way round. There. Now.
We've got a question about should you be cutting full size.
Right, I was just going to say something about this because the theory of bowl turning, faceplate turning, is we're supposed to cut what they call downhill, or what's called downhill. So if I get my fingers over here, these are the straws. And if I cut this way, the strand of wood behind the one that I've just cut is shorter, so it's not got the support at the top. So in theory, I'll bust all this grain out and I'll have torn grain all over the place. downhill is this way, so the shortest fibre is cut first and then the longest fibre is cut next, so the fibre in front is supported by the fibre behind. Now a lot of you who've seen me turn know that I don't actually agree with that theory. What happens is, if you're cutting with a sharp tool at the correct speed, you'll slice the fibres and it won't matter. If you've got a really knurly piece of wood, really knurly grain pattern, I might cut that way and it breaks all the fibres. So then I've got to cut that bit of wood this way. I might cut that bit of wood this way and it breaks the fibres because they're knurly. So that piece of wood I've got to cut that way. I prefer to turn away from the chuck, so I do it like this. But we are going to show you another cut in a minute. I was just removing a bit of wood. You can turn this way, get the wood away quickly, and then make a couple of fine cuts in what's perceived the proper direction, just to tidy it up, just real light cuts. But all I was doing there is removing this wood because I want to see where this crack is. You can see her there. She just about disappears here, so I think it'll be alright, but we will put a bit of glue in it in a minute. Now we need a bit of wood cut away to make our base, and what I'm going to have to do is move this towel stock back because that's going to get in my way. There. All the time I can keep the towel stock engaged, I will. And then when it's going to really get in our way, or when we do a bit in a minute, we can't use it. So when we can't use it, we can't use it. So I've just removed that there, the tool rest, so this turns freely by hand, and turn the speed on. Now I'm just going to pick up the back of the bevel there, lean forward and just follow the tool rest along. To about there, a bit more. Now what I'm doing here is building up a bit of wood, A, for the foot, and B, for the mounting, the chucking point. I want a little bit more now. I don't want a very deep foot. And all I'm doing is, as I'm coming in, I'm just raising the handle a little bit. There. Oop, red stop. So I've built up enough wood there to make our foot and also to give us our chucking point. So now I'm going to get my shape into here. Now I can tackle this two ways. So if I'm going to do it the way you should turn the wood, by the books, and bring me tool rest up here, and then pick me cut up on the back of the bevel here, I'll stop talking there because going in this direction I'm twisting my right hip away from the lathe to create my curve, but I'm also throwing the shavings straight up in my face, so if I talk I'm going to get a mouthful of ash. So I prefer that way because it pushes the shavings away from me. So just pick up the back of the cut, round. Now my hip's coming right hip away from the lathe. But to create my Ogee, when I get to about there, I now twist into the lathe. And you can see what started to happen. I've got a curve coming this way and then I'm coming back out. You'll see this a bit more in a minute. Now this tool rest is going to start getting in our way in a minute, but so I'm twisting away from the lathe, away from the lathe, away from the lathe, back into the lathe. There. Now, the Ogee is great with a push cut, but if you're going to do a push cut, then the tailstock has got to be out of your way, because you can't get your bowl gouge there. This is in our way. I can go so far with it, so I can just rub the bevel, little lift, right it away from the lathe, away from the lathe, away from the lathe. Oh, I'm taking a big cut there. Hold on, let me reduce that a bit. Now I'm twisting into the lathe. What happened there is I got the wing in the tool and I was removing a lot of wood very quickly. I can just rub the back of the bevel anywhere along this piece of wood, and when I want to get my cut, just lean the handle towards my body and then twist my hip into the lathe. And you see I can create this curve this way at any point, back of the bevel, handle towards the lathe, so it's pure bevel, nothing's going to cut. Lean the handle towards my body, noise changing slightly, there's my cut. Now I'm twisting my body back into the lathe. And that creates my curve that way. I can rub the bevel there in the opposite direction, back of the bevel. Now move my handle towards the lathe, pick up my cut, and now I just twist my body into the lathe. Wing again, take too much wood. And I'll just pick this up. Got a little line here I want to get rid of. There. And now we've got our outside Ogee shape. We're coming out this way and back in that way. We can make it a little bit more under by reducing the foot diameter. The foot diameter for this looks too big to me now I've turned it, but I can always turn it away afterwards. If I turn it away first, I can't stick it back on. So now I can just pick the cut up, just come in a bit, somewhere there I think. Now what I'm going to do is just pick that cut up there, twisting my body into the lathe. I think something like that, there's a little line on that. There. Now we've got the outside of our Ogee shape. Turning it the wrong way, the right way has not really made a lot of difference to the grain. If it had, then all I've got to do is get a freshly sharpened tool. And I can just come in here just with a roll the wing over on a long grind and literally feed it backwards and forwards. And tidy the grain up. All I'm doing is creating less sanding for myself. Now, if you can't control the bowl gouge like that, obviously you could use a scraper. And earlier I bought scrapers over here, so I could use a square scraper for the convex curve. But what's going to happen when I get to here, to my concave curve, because an Ogee is a convex and then a concave, I'm going to hit the corner into there. So I can only do a limited amount with that. There. Let's show you that. I'm just a bit further off the tool rest. Little lift. And then when I get to that point, I'll have to put that one down, find my round scraper with my half round scraper, pick the cut up here, and then just change my cut with a round scraper. Anybody, beginners that are going to try this, do not try and bring a scraper round a concave curve. All you're going to do is get a dig on the corner, it's going to go bang. If you've got a split in the wood like I've got, you'll get 2 bits of wood and you'll have a picture on Facebook going, look what happened to me bowl. So, but you can do it with a bowl gouge if you take really fine cuts, and you can do it in either direction. Although this has got a split in it, it's got quite a nice grain pattern there, isn't it? So that's cool. Right, so where I'm going to put my tenon, if I can move my tool rest is packed up on me. Come on, that's it. That's because it's had lack of use, it's going on strike. Haven't used it for a year, haven't used the cameras for a year. Come over here last night, set it up and was testing it out. Obviously I didn't test the microphone. I was going to test the microphone, but I didn't test the microphone. The reason I didn't test the microphone is when I tried to connect to YouTube just to do a live little test, it came up with string key, do this, do that, string key, and I thought if I do that and lose the string key that I've put out there for tonight, then nobody's gonna see the video because they'll click on the link and it will be dead. And I thought, well, just leave it, it worked all right last time. But obviously I should have done, because we had no sound.
They're saying the Ogee's a classic shape, isn't it? Chief of Mike was the first one.
The Ogee is a classic shape. Now, hold on, let's step back, let's come over to here. Prove I'm wearing my safety glasses. My little shove in there, can you see it? Oh, it's gone. Right, if you want to study the Ogee and see a master at it, a master more than me, you've got this fella, Burt Marsh, unfortunately no longer with us. You've got a bit of the old lights and green screen, don't like that very much. But this is Burt Marsh Woodturner, and he's recognised as being one of the masters of the Ogee shape. He's got some beautiful, beautiful shapes within this book. There. Let me just thick through. There. An Ogee is not just to a bowl, you know, it can be a vase or anything. And just see what I'm finding. There was one I saw in there earlier. There's a couple more there, come that way, there. So, Burt Marsh Woodturner. Excellent book if you want to look into Ogees a bit more.
Is it olive ash?
There is a bit of olive coming through here and there, the dark areas. With ash, if you've got olive ash, oh, hold on, you wouldn't have seen that. I was talking to you. Right, there is a bit of olive coming through there. The only olive you saw was bouncing off my head. Right, so, and as I'm Oliver, that works. There's a bit of olive coming through here and there. With ash, if you've got olive ash, so you've got this light white grain and then this dark heavy grain, sometimes it's difficult to get the balance on your lathe because this is far denser than this. So the weight distribution is different, but we won't wait. It has got a lovely sheen to it. Almost looks like it needs a bit of colour. I wasn't doing colouring, I was just doing the Ogee form. Right, so let's get on with this a little bit. So I'm just going to come in and tidy this bottom up. Just coming in there, tidy that up a little bit. I'm not taking too much off of it. Somewhere in there like that. And then we're going to mark out for our tenon. I prefer to use a tenon because I think they're easier to remove at the end of this process, but you can use a mortise if you wish. Now my jaws on this chucker are 44mm internal, so I mark to about 46mm. So on here I get this to about 46mm. Let's come over and see what you can see. Can you see that? Can I bring that out a bit? Is that the one? I'm pushing cameras here, I don't think that's the one. Let's try that one. That. Ooh, what's happening there? That ain't the one. 4, 5. Let's bring that out. Right, let's bring that out there. So, what I'm going to do is... No, you can't see too clearly with that, can you? I can see clearly now. Can I? No, that one's not going to be any good. Let's go back over. You ain't going to see a lot on the overthread. See if I can get in there. Right, in this camera here, the right hand one, you can just see this right fork. And all you do, left fork, you put the left fork against the wood. It will score a line, and you line that line up to the right fork. So you've got a lovely shot. You see, look, there's shavings on my head. It's not a maggot, it's a shaving. Sunburn. So it scored a line in there, and that's the quickest way. Just come in, don't put the right hand fork into the wood, because it will grab and boom, it's flying across your workshop, hits the person behind you, and they're not very happy. So we've got our line, we know our chuck mount is centered there. So now what we're going to do is switch back to the overhead. No, camera 4. Camera 4, that gives us a shot at it. We're going to cut into this line to make our tenon. So I do this, as many of you know, by using a skew. You can make a custom built scraper. You can use a detailed spindle gouge like this. Where's my camera gone? So you can see this there. It's 25 degrees, so I could come in, lift it in and score a line. Oh, get it the right way round. Back of the bevel, lift it in, score a line. Then I can push that in on that line to get me depth. And then I can pick this up here on the edge. Up to me line. And then we move this to the line. back in there, and then I can make my tenon by dump, or dump, dump, and dump. Or I can simply, and this is why I do it, get my skew, come in here, pick up my edge, keep this side here parallel with my headstock, and just come in into there. When I get in the middle, little twist, and make sure the taper's not too fierce on that. So I bring my handle out a little bit, knock that taper down, make sure I've got no waste on there. Now the most important thing with all this is that shoulder that we've made is square, completely flat. If we come back to the overhead, there, you don't want to see any light, you don't want any gaps. If you've got gaps, what will happen when you put it against the jaw set, it can rock, and if it can rock and you get a catch, it can come out of the chuck, so you don't want that. So we've got that, that's cut to size. There's a nasty piece of wood there, didn't want that to happen. It'll be alright, it's only a little bit. So we've got our outside shape, our foot, and our mounting point. Job done. We will now attempt to put this in the chuck. Now if you use a screw chuck, what most people do is wind it off at this point and then put it in, find it don't fit properly, and they put the screw chuck back in and wind it back on. And when you do that, each time you wind it back into that screw chuck, because it's such a coarse thread, it gets a little looser and a bit looser and a bit looser again, till the end. If you've had 3 or 4 attempts at cutting this tenon, this will then wobble on here and you've got no chance. So I can come in here, just tighten that down. Now as it pinches up, that's holding it, 1/4 of a turn, and that's all you need. You don't need any more than that. Now what I'll do is turn the speed down, stand out the way, say to Karen, catch this if it comes off the lathe, and then slowly turn the speed up, make sure she's running true, which she is there. If it wasn't, it'd be doing that. So on the camera it'll look a bit out, but that's this edge that we've done nothing with. So by and large, that's true enough. There's nothing wrong there that we've got to worry about. So we'll stop that. And I'll just remove the screw chuck now with a spanner. And that is a metal spanner. Not me, is the spanner, Mr. Clark. So there. Now I'll just bring this out of there. Job's a good one. This chuck's an old Patriot, a Saltby Patriot. They were the chuck a while ago, but nowadays the old Nova chucks, about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something 3 years ago-ish, Nova changed their chucks to the ProTech, and they changed the outside coating on it. All the jaws are interchangeable from the Saltby Patriots and the Novas, but the Nova came up as a chuck, much better design, better finish. The Nova chucks nowadays are about 150, 180, depending what model you're going for. Patriot chuck is about 240. Well, there ain't that much difference in my mind. So I would stick with, I use these because I've got them. But if I was buying a chuck today, I'd just buy a Nova. I've turned this by hand so it's running free. Now we'll try and come over onto a end camera. So now what we're going to do is hollow this bowl out. Now this surface is completely uneven here. If I show you back, I'm throwing you around as if you're going to get a headache. So it's quite thin there, but when we come round here, it's quite thick because this surface is uneven. So I will just bring the surface up level. I'm just going to pick up the edge of the wood and just run my tool and you can hear it cutting and not cutting. That is purely bit bully beef. That's purely where we got fresh air and timber. So that's now, if I come back over the top, made this rim thickness very similar all the way round. It's purely because it was uneven on the front. So now we're going to hollow this out, but what we're going to do with this is hollow this so we follow the outside shape, hopefully. If I get it wrong, we'll have a hole through the side of the bowl. But I don't think I'm going to get it wrong. But who knows? I haven't done this for a year. So now I can just rub the back of my bevel. I removed my live centre from my towel stock, because we know what happens there if you leave them in, don't we? You get a big pointy thing straight in your elbow. Now let's have a look at this camera angle for this. Let's bring this over to here. Let's try this one for a minute. So you can either come in really low, raise your handle to get the cut, and as it cuts, then come in. What happens though, if you've got the tip wrong angle and as you raise, the grain grabs the tip and it can skid you back across the surface. If you come in on the back of the bevel, let's see, can I get an over it? Right, if I come in on the back of the bevel, there, nothing's going to happen. Then I just lean my handle forward. I'll come in the centre a bit more. I lean my handle forward and it scores a little line. Now that'll sit there all day long. I'm doing this one-handed, sit there all day long. When I want to cut, I just rotate the gouge so the flute is pointing up if we had a clock at 2 o'clock. And then little push, no real pressure. And I twist my hip, right hip away from the lathe, and that starts causing my arc in the centre. So there, score a line, little twist into the centre, guide in, and away we go. If I was pushing too hard, as I get to the middle, it's going to go snap. So if we want to do it a bit quicker, we just turn the speed up. So we're up to 1400, back of the bevel, forward, twist, and in, back, and in, forward, twist, and in. Now I go off in this tangent for a while because it's deepest here. So I'm removing a bit of wood there before we start trying to mimic the outside shape. That crunchy literally me giving it a bit of stick. If I'm not giving it any stick, it don't go crunchy crunchy. Now you will find it far more comfortable if the tool's in your side as we do this. What camera shows a side view? Got too many cameras. Right, no, nothing. This one? Right, so if you've got the tool in your side, let's come just adjust that down a little bit there. If we've got our tool in our side, you'll find it more comfortable because the shape comes off your body. So I'm twisting my right hip away from the lathe to get this scoop out the middle, and it's far easier like that. If I'm out here, I've got to lock my frame without using any real muscle strength, and then I bring it back a bit like a paddle on a rainbow, and then I can go into the centre. But my body's still turning to get this. So I come here. See, that don't work. Let's come back. Doesn't work because my body's got to be in the way, but this will give you an idea. So my body's towards the lathe, little twist. Now you see, as I'm coming in here, I'm taking quite big cuts, so it's pulling on the wing, and because my arm's out here, it's trying to bounce me around a bit, where if I stand here, let's get rid of that. The tool's resting up my forearm, there, resting up my forearm into my body, so it's a much smoother movement. There. Like so. So I can just work away at this and get my ollie done. Now I can check roughly my depth, use my thumb, bit of Chippy's eye, and I'm about halfway at the moment, so I've got a little way to go. But don't forget, I want to bring this out. So now I've got to start thinking, right, I want to come out, but I don't turn, get my arm out of the way, I don't turn this way to get this curve. If I turn this way, I've got a chance of digging my gouge in, and there's me catch. And if I get a catch there, bang. So you should never really try and scoop a bowl out this way. It will cause you a problem. So we don't want that. It's safe turning is what we want. So now I've got to look at my outside shape, realise that this comes here, and then starts coming in. Something like that. So just watch me outside shape, come in. And I come, all I'm doing, slightly twisting my right hip away from the lathe again. But when I get to this point, into the lathe, into the lathe. Now I pick the cut up. And I start coming away from the lathe again. So I'm into the lathe and away from the lathe here. And then I just pick this up into the lathe very lightly. Get to this point. Now twist the other way. So at that point I'm now twisting away from the lathe. So, oh, red stop, red stop. I'm now following this shape, so I'm coming in there. It's still a little bit thick here. I'm slowly coming in there and then twisting. So I'm coming in like this towards the lathe, then away from the lathe to the centre, and that will give me my Ogee shape on the inside.
Would you ever turn the head out?
Sorry?
Would you ever turn the head out?
Yes. Now, normally I would always turn the head out when I'm hollowing a bowl. Reasons why. Because I'm not having to lean over the lathe bed. It makes life a lot simpler. So if I just do this, do that, lock it off there, bring my tool rest out to here. The downside of this is now my tool rest is a long way over the lathe bed. But these are a sturdy old lathe, sturdy old tool rest. All day long it's quite safe to do. Notice I've got a big knot here. So that's bouncing us a little bit. But you see now I'm over the tool rest, not over the lathe bed. If I turn this up, I'm out here. Now what I'm going to do is, as I pick this cut up into the lathe, away from the lathe, you can hear the difference in sound there. Now the difference in sound is when I get down the bottom where it's a bit thicker, I'm fighting this knot, that's bouncing me around a bit, but I'm also just trying to remove the wood. So I'm giving it a little bit of welly. So if I lay the pressure off, no pressure, the noise goes. Now I'm a long way over the tool rest here. So that is also going to add to my vibration. So So really I've just got to take finer cuts. And we're a bit thicker there, so I can just start there. There, and I'm just slowly working this shape. See how I can quieten the gouge down just by coming in. Very light cut. Take the pressure off of it. Yeah, it's got a little bump in the middle there. And we come through there, see how we're doing. So we're a bit thick just here. We're probably not far off there. We're about right there, a bit thick here, so we've just got to take a little bit out of here. So I'm just going to pick up the side of the bevel now, lean the handle towards the lathe. There's me cut. Just losing me cut just before I get to centre because I don't want to go too much deeper. This knot's a bit of an issue, but hey, we've got it so we can turn it. So it's still just a bit thick in here, just a bit thick on that return. So on the return, I'm just going to pick up a cut. The lathe, about there, away from the lathe, and now I'll just try that. That's better. There's just a little bit there, but we're nearly into centre, so I'll just pick up this other gouge. I'm just trying to cut on centre as I come into the middle there. Keep twisting all the way through the cut, right hip away from the lathe. Somewhere there. Let's have a feel. There's just a little bump in the middle, but this wall thickness now is even all the way down. I'm not trying to go super thin here, so I just want to get a very, very fine cut on here. Very fine. And what you'll see, if you're sharp-eyed, I pick up the cut using the side bevel there, lean the handle towards the lathe, and as I get the cut, I come in, but I slowly raise the handle and roll my wrist. What way is that? Anti-clockwise or clockwise? Clockwise. Rose me wrist clockwise as I get into the centre. I'm making use of the long grind. So I've got no corners. So side, forward, there's me cut. Slowly raise my handle. Slowly roll my wrist over. Feed the gouge through my fingers, through my hand, and as I get into the middle there, I just see the small pimple in there, and I don't want that. There. And it's just a slight raise in the middle I can feel, and it starts on this dark line just about there. So what I'm going to do now is side bevel on there, and then we'll try that. That's better. So that's got rid of me bump in the middle. If I bring this back over here, I can lock that down. Take that out of there, bring that back to there, and there, camera's that way, our Ogee shaped bowl. Out, back in, and the inside marries that. You can see there's a pressure line on the tooling just there, where I pushed it a bit hard. I was bouncing on the knot. With a couple of fine cuts I could get rid of that, but that's our Ogee bowl. And then all I would do, I'm not going to bother sanding it, but all I would do now to get rid of that foot off the bottom is I'd put in, oh that's no bloody use whatsoever, donut. I keep talking and forget to switch my camera. Mrs. Oliver's on a delay like you guys, so she doesn't see that, so she don't say to me, you haven't switched the camera over. So I've switched the camera over now. Just this is a Longworth chuck, my favourite way of reversing a bowl. So now I can put that into there, wind this up there, give that little bit of pressure with one finger, thumb, That's me thumb, not me finger.
Song, finger with thumb.
Come round that side, sorry.
I said that's a song, isn't it?
One finger, one thumb, keep moving. Sing along with Ed. There we go. Now I'm just going to tighten these up just a little bit. These are a soft neoprene rubber, so they come in, grip the edge of the bowl. As you bring the arms in, it centralises the bowl, so it should be on the centre. There. 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 Last one. And where they've crushed out, they're now holding that bowl secure enough to take this tenon off of here. But you can use all different ways. So I'm going to turn the lathe on. I'm out of the way. Just turn the speed up a little bit. You shouldn't spin these above 600 RPM. 500's enough. And you just then get your bowl gouge. Gently pick the cut up. 3-4, 3-4, knock at the door. So just pick the cut up. Just raise my handle as I come into here. Oops, that noise was me pushing too hard. Don't forget the bowl's now turning at the slowest we've done. It's about 5,000 RPM, 500 RPM, 5,000. It'll be boom, Billy whiz. I'm just laying the bevel on the surface of the wood, feeding the gouge in. The noise is the operator, not the wood. See, if I lay the pressure off, it makes no noise whatsoever, apart from that nice cutting sound. When you hear any vibration or grinding or that, it's the operator just giving it a bit too much welly. And my tool rest might just be just a tad low. Now what I always do with a bowl is I do a little bit of a concave foot. So as I'm taking this cut, I just turn my body away from the lathe. So when I say away, my right hip away from the lathe. Not a lot, not a lot, just a little bit. There. Now in the Longworth, obviously I can sand off the foot, do whatever I want. Haven't gone through the bottom, so I'm joined the funnel club. Just undo that. Right, so there we are. Swatch cameras. One Ogee bowl. Got it that way, got it that way, got it that way, got it that way. Bottom off, Ogee bowl. Obviously I've not bothered sanding it. It wasn't a sanding demonstration. It was just turning the Ogee curve so that our friends at Woodturning for Beginners, I said that slowly so I pronounced it correctly, Woodturning for Beginners, can now do their August challenge and make themselves an Ogee bowl. The curves all flow, there's no flat spots, and if you get a short piece of flat metal, diamond carve works, this is just to test your curves. Don't work on the inside curves, but if we do that way, if we do this, the card should roll all the way round. It's a bit difficult, but it rolls. There's no flat spots. If there's a flat spot, it'll dump, 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 dump. So that's it. But you can't really do that on the inside. All you can do is hold it up to the light and have a look and see from the two eye points if it flows the curve. The inside you can't really do, but you could get a curve card. That gives you a curve. That's your Ogee, inside and out. That's how to do an Ogee bowl. Ogee bowl. Ogee bowl. Right, people. No throwing colour around. No doing this, that or the other. It was purely little demonstration. Ogee bowl, Woodturning for Beginners. And some of you mad people that used to watch me on a Saturday morning have come back. So I thank you for coming back. I will do a few demos. Hold on, falling over the chain. I will do a few demos and announce them in advance. They're not going to be weekly. I disappeared for a year because our little soldier was buying his first house, so we had a few months for looking at houses. We found the house of his dreams. Once we found the house of his dreams, it was then furniture shopping. So we were going around everywhere, furniture shopping and ordering furniture, and then going to the, it's a new build, going in and ordering extra sockets and extra this and extra that. So we were doing that. I had a bit of time off, a few weekends off. Then last August, September, we went out and started clay pigeon shooting. So on a Sunday or a Saturday we go out and blow up clays in the air. Not creative, doesn't do anything for you, but it's great fun. Yeah. If you can hit one, I can't hit one. So that's my challenge. And then we had a few months landscaping our little soldier's garden. So it's been a busy old year. I've missed being the turning, doing the lives, so I do want to get back and do a few, but I don't want to do them every week. So I'll let you know. I'll come up with a few ideas because it gets boring just turning the same bowl over and over and over again. Unless, of course, I get covered in paint, or unless, of course, Mike Walt's here and we can cover him in paint. That's quite funny, isn't it? You know, here, Mike, look at this. Gosh, that's quite funny. I quite like that. I hope you've enjoyed your evening demonstration. I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time. It's gone on a bit longer than I thought. I thought I was going to do this. It was supposed to be a quick 20 minutes, 30 minutes demonstration. But then we had problems with Karen not sorting out the microphone properly. You know, can't get the staff. Then the camera operator had a mishmash in his brain because couldn't remember where all the buttons were. We'll slowly get back there. So, thanks for popping by. There's a few comments coming up. Douglas, no, not regular. I might try and fit one in once a month or every 3 weeks or something. I don't want to be committed to every Tuesday night or every Saturday morning. I don't want to do the during the day Saturday because it just takes the weekend apart. So once a month, yeah, something like that, Mole. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. It's very kind of you to say so. Not a lot of people would agree with you, but thank you. Yeah, you've missed some of it, Deal. Due to the power cut. Well, you missed a lot of commentary due to no microphone. That's for certain. Cheers, Leroy. Glad you've enjoyed it. Cheers, Robert. Cheers, Barry. Thank you. Cheers, Spider. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, it's good fun. Good to do. I might see some of you at the wood-turning weekend of this weekend, if anybody's going. Karen and I are going just to be entertained. We're not doing any work. We're going to go along, meet up with some old wood-turning buddies, have a few beers and watch a few demos, that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Cheers, Douglas. Glad you've enjoyed it. Thanks, Susie. Glad you found it helpful. Thanks, Paul. Go and practice the Ogee. That's what it's about. Cheers, Tommy. Glad you've enjoyed it. It's nice to be back at the lathe, making a mess. I've just got to teach Karen how to use the broom again so she can tidy up afterwards.
2 chances.
2, she can do it in 2 stages, she just said.
That's not what I said.
Cheers, Paul. Good to see you today. Douglas, once a month. I'll try and do a once a month demo. I'll do my best. I shall come up with a little plan and go once a month. Let's go back to throwing some paint around. Cheers, Barry. Glad you've enjoyed it. Good to see you all back, actually. There's quite a few of you. Cheers, Roy. The boy. East Ender, eh? If you sound like me. I come from sunny Walthamstow. Thanks, Kerry. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you don't watch, there's no point in me doing it. I'm talking to myself. I talk to myself quite a lot anyway, but yeah, we enjoy you coming along. So, everybody, that's it, right? East End boy. Bye, deal. Take it easy. Everybody, I am going to disappear now. It is time for me to disappear. I've said goodbye and thank you enough. Thanks for stopping by. Really enjoyed it. It was good to do a demo again. I just realised how much I missed doing it. It was good fun. You get out of the habit, but life took over. I don't have to use Mrs. Oliver's hairdryer because Colin last year sent me my very own. Far more powerful. I've locked it away so Mrs. Oliver can't nick it. Yes, people, if you've enjoyed the demo, it adds to the thing. Just hit a like button there. That they like the likes and all that sort of stuff. So hit a like. Roy the boy at Hackney. Ah, Walthamstow boy, me. Yep. Our family all come from Hackney on the River Lee. But I was brought up in Walthamstow, sunny Walthamstow. So hence why I'm a Spurs fan and not a West Ham fan, because I was near the Spurs. Yeah. Cheers, Mo. Douglas, Karen will look after me. Yeah, she'll look after me, all right. I'll get a clap round the head or something when I'm not looking. Right, people, I've got to go. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Cheers, Ben. I'm going to end the demo now, and like, subscribe, all that sort of, nonsense, whatever you do. Until the next time, goodbye.